Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Unraveling the Darkness. Tonight's guests are the Midwest Spirit Investigator Society, MSIS. 6 investigators brought together by a shared passion for the paranormal. Each of them brings something different to the team, and together those differences make them stronger. Tonight, we're talking to 3 of them. We are going to have Doc, a sensitive medium green witch. She is a lifelong sensitive, a medium, clairaudient, a green witch and Reiki practitioner with a deep connection to nature. Energy and spirit work. She holds a doctorate in metaphysical human. I knew I was going to get this one wrong. Metaphysical, humanistic science, and holistic health. So many H's. And has investigated paranormal activity in Illinois, Florida, and Alaska. We are also going to be talking to Red, who's a sensitive, a videographer, and their editor. Red brings her sensitivity and intuitive awareness to MSIS, while also playing an important role behind the camera. As a videographer and editor, she helps document the investigations and transforms hours of footage into the evidence and stories that they share. We all know how long that stuff can take. And then we're going to have Grim. Grim is a medium, an eclectic witch, occultist known as Miss Grimm the Medium. Grimm brings her abilities as a medium, an eclectic witch, and occultist to MSIS. Her knowledge of the spiritual and occult worlds offer other perspectives when they encounter unexplained activity. So join me tonight as we talk to MSIS. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hi, hello.
All right. So I'm going to just let our watchers know that we're having some technical difficulties and people may be bouncing in and out as they can hear and not hear. So, all right. So let's start with Doc. What got you interested in the paranormal?
Well, I've actually had paranormal experiences my whole life since I was a child. And at first I was kind of scared of it, but then it intrigued me a lot. And as I got older, I just wanted to get more involved with it and figure it out. So I've been in paranormal basically my whole life. So it's been fun and it's getting better all the time. So I really enjoy it. Enjoy the team. I like what we do.
So much that you went and got a doctorate in the metaphysical stuff.
Humanistic science. Yes, I did.
Thank you.
It's okay. I know it's a lot to say. I know. I did, and that just helped my knowledge of the paranormal. So, and it's just something I can bring to the team, which I appreciate. And with being a clairaudient, I can hear a lot of things that other people can't hear, which is, it's just like a gift. And I never, I guess I never put the gift to use because I didn't know how to until I got a little bit older and started investigating and everything. And it comes in handy a lot. We like it.
Now, being clairaudient, are you hearing the voices like they're speaking to you or as a thought in your head?
It depends if we're using like the Estes method, then it comes through on headphones, or I can sometimes hear things that other people can't hear because my ears are just very sensitive. So maybe I'll hear a spirit walking or something walking, but nobody else will hear it.
Okay.
So I can just pick up on things like that, which obviously helps. They don't get it, but then maybe they'll eventually hear it, or if I point it out to them, then they can.
Feedback off of her. So may need to have you turn your speakers down a bit there, Graham, before we bring you in. Your volume down. So Red, what got you initially involved in the paranormal?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. Essentially, I got into the paranormal because ever since I was a kid, I had always been experiencing just some really unexplained things. So actually, as a child, I was never introduced to the idea of the paranormal or ghosts. And I would see things that other people couldn't see, but then it would get confirmed later on by somebody else experiencing something of the same caliber, and just never knew. No one ever told me. So I'd come to my parents with these stories of like, I saw somebody walking on the staircase last night. Little did I know, everyone saw somebody on the staircase, multiple times. But they were like, yeah, cool. And as I got older, I started to understand what paranormal was and spirits and ghosts, and it was turned into like a fun little party trick, telling your friends what you see in their house, and then them being mind blown because you were right and you were on the money, and you're like, oh, that's cool, fun, and you continue. I actually wanted to get into paranormal investigation ever since I was a little kid. But I never had the opportunity to. I just thought it would never happen in my life. I was like, maybe I'll go on a ghost tour or something, but never actually hunt. When I was in, I think, first grade, I wrote a whole essay as to why my future career was going to be ghost hunter. And I was the only person in the class who had something along those lines. And my teacher was like, so intrigued. She's like, why that? And I'm like, because I have to be respectful and I have to, find answers, and also, give people a voice, even if they're dead, and it's just some really weird moments in my life like that. So that's kind of the long version on how I got interested in the paranormal and how I'm here today.
Nice. Graham, I'm going to be kind of moving your mic as we start to talk, and so we can get some of that feedback, not as bad. But Graham, what got you started in the paranormal? What made you want to investigate the paranormal?
Well, I started having visions pretty young, and being able to sense energy kind of changes in the room. And I didn't really understand a lot of what I was seeing or feeling, or also why I just knew things that I really didn't have a reason to know or no background knowledge of. And my upbringing was very strict and religious, so I wasn't able to explore why I was getting such vivid type dreams and these visions. And it took a while until my mid-teens, into my early 20s, until I finally explored what was going on with me, and everything slowly, the more I started to learn, allow myself and give myself permission that it wasn't the spooky, scary thing I was always told. It was actually a gift. And I learned that the more I dove into it, the more I was able to, talk with people and help and give them new perspectives on things. And so the journey's still going, and I'm still continuing to learn and dive deeper into my craft.
Nice. So let's go to Doc. And Doc, how did you all meet? Because there's a few more members that aren't here with us, but
Correct. We actually met. We've all been on different teams. I've been on teams in, Florida. I've been on teams. I've been on a couple of teams up here in Illinois. And we were all at an event, and we all just started talking, and the six of us all bring something different to the table, which we thought could really make a great team, because we all have different things we bring to the table. So that's pretty much, we just met at a mutual place that we all happened to be at, and we just connected from there.
nice.
Yeah.
So you and Graham are both mediums, correct?
The three of us are.
Yes.
All three. Okay.
Mhm.
Yep.
Let's
We
talk
all have
about
different-
protection and what you're doing to protect yourselves when you're doing these investigations. And Graham, let's start with you.
Yeah, so I bless a lot of the jewelry that I wear. And depending on who, I also, because I work with my ancestors, I also let them kind of pick out what things, what like talismans, what stones, or type things like that I'll bring with me. I work really closely with them so I can get a real specific protection. And and then along with that, I make homemade Florida water, and that has been a really great tool also, and clearing my mind before an investigation, so that I can get rid of any biased, and then it helps also at the end, to clear the energy, and remove any attachments. And we make sure to do, before our investigations, we do a sage ceremony, before and after, to keep everything at home and avoid attachments and things like that.
And for the people watching who don't know, can you explain Florida water?
Yeah, so Florida water is, there's versions of it all over the world, but it is most commonly, it's named after a fountain of youth in Florida. And it's basically a collection of herbs, oils, and things like that. And it's soaked in a strong alcohol solution over time, and you pray over it. And it can be used, it was traditionally used for cleaning in the home, because of the citrus oils in it and things like that. There's rosemary, there's mint, so that Florida water, the herbs in it help clear away negative energy and bring in fresh energy. It's sold as a cologne, but we use it in multiple different ways.
Right. Yeah. Red, what are you doing for protection as a medium?
So honestly, I was really bad at like cleansing and protection before I joined the team. I just went into a place and was like, go away. And then that was what I thought was what I was supposed to do. But now, ever since meeting Grim and Doc, I've actually learned a lot more. So you can see it here. I wear some Evil Eye. I actually wear 2 Evil Eye on me. I know that that's not always spiritual protection, but I like to kind of use that as something that I feel like protects me. I always use Grim's Florida water. She actually gave me a little vial. It smells so good, so I also just sniff it. It's not even, I'll just sniff it and put it on. But whenever I feel like something's kind of, energetically low, I'll spritz it on. And Doc actually sometimes lets me borrow some bracelets that she has, protection bracelets that I'll wear. So I really don't do a lot, but I'm learning. So we're getting there. That's what I do.
I think we all kind of did that in the beginning. We're like, oh, we'll just go in here and we're going to investigate. We're going to do whatever. And, over time, you start getting these bigger places or places that have more entities or spirits in them, right? And then you're like, I probably need to start doing something.
Just a little bit, something different.
Yeah. I think my team, there's 4 of us. We kind of did the same thing. We kind of, at the beginning, we kind of do our own thing. And then at the end, we kind of gather up and we're like, okay, we'll do something. And then we're like, as we're walking out door, we're like, okay, guys, remember, you can't go with us. You have to stay here, and all that kind of stuff. So, Doc, you have bracelets.
Yeah, I do. Crystal bracelets.
That doesn't help you if you're loaning them out.
Oh, believe me, I have my own. Yes. So, yes, I cleanse the bracelets before we go, before we have an investigation, and then I do give them to everybody. I perform the sage ceremony before and after. What else do I do? We just, the 3 of us, and we will actually tell the spirits, you cannot follow us, kind of like what you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
You are not allowed to attach yourself to us or anything. And I also use the Florida water that Grim makes. We pretty much use whatever we can that we have on hand, especially if it's a place that's been very active, or we just can't protect yourself too much, right?
Kind of jealous. I want some of this Florida water for my collection.
We know where you can get it.
Mm-hmm.
So run me through a typical investigation for you guys. You're showing up to a location, let's say it's a house, and you're going in to investigate. What's your routine? Are you doing a walkthrough before? Are you finding out history of a place? Are you going in with nothing? And we can bounce around to different stuff. Each of you can give me something.
I feel like I start just because I film most of it, so I feel like I can get like a good idea of it. We like to go in with no information most of the time because we're all sensitives, or we have some type of spiritual gift that we don't want that confirmation bias. We try really, really hard. It's a little difficult sometimes to not get information, especially when you're speaking with, like the owners or something. They want to share, pieces of information. But we like to go in completely blind, do a walkthrough usually with the sensitives, and we like to do it one at a time. We try not to have them all in at the same time to kind of bounce the ideas off each other, because I think that just further, helps with confirmation bias. And then we'll usually start the investigation, and I don't know if anyone wants to take it from here.
We will bring different equipment with us. We don't like to bring everything at the same time because we just don't want to we feel like that could be a little bit too much. So we'll only bring 2 or 3 pieces of equipment and see what kind of activity we get with that equipment. And if that doesn't work, then we'll like switch it out. And we just kind of see, play by ear and see what we're picking up or not. And sometimes, it's really good with the Estes method or with the SLS camera, which we usually will take everywhere. The SLS camera, we always have a lot of success with that. So that's one of our big things that we use. But the other stuff we kind of switch out just depending on what kind of action we're getting with it.
Okay.
So it's fun. It's fun.
Graham, let's talk the Estes. Or have you gone under Estes, and what are some of the things that you've experienced?
Yeah, so I have. My favorite time using the Estes method would be, it was at the museum, and I started getting these images of like a burning ship, smoking, like the ship was smoking, and even though I am like vocalizing what I'm hearing, I also like to bring a notebook with me so that I can kind of like free scribble, like free write, kind of just let them use my hand. And at the end of that method, when I took off my headphones and my bandana, the image that I have, obviously very scribbly, but we started to make out what looked like a ship that was like smoking and up in flame, like through the scribble. And so it was really interesting. And for some time, we weren't really sure, like we hadn't seen any evidence around the museum yet that kind of connected us to that. But we later, through like other visits, are starting to now uncover more evidence or stories that align with like a ship and a wreckage. So it's just really cool to see something I didn't have any control over my hand, and this weird scribble. We all were like, actually, no, I could see that in there.
Right. The fact
that was
you're
my
like
favorite.
talking about it and then it comes up is pretty cool. It's something that we haven't tried, the free writing. That's pretty neat though. We do a double Estes session. So we use the SB11 because it has 2 channels, and we'll put 2 people under at the same time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
We
it's
have
awesome. It's pretty
We need to
cool.
do that.
When I can stop asking questions and they just start going back and forth, that's when it's really cool. We had a museum that we had done. I was talking to Red about it before the show, and we had a museum that we had done. We were in the vault. It has a 2,500 square foot vault that like the guy can do a whole nother Western museum out of it. It's crazy. So have 2 people under, and Jason starts kind of the same thing. He's like, and he's like, I don't usually have stuff pop into my head, like images and stuff. And he's telling us he's under, but he's like, I'm getting this image. And he starts explaining this. And then Gina is under on the other channel, and she's like, he sees.
Oh.
And you can't hear anything. And I don't use noise canceling, but I use drummer headphones. So you can't hear anything. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Across the street at another one, they just started talking to each other, and I'm just out. I'm not even asking questions. It was probably a good 7 or 8 minutes that they were just going back and forth.
Wow.
So pretty
awesome.
interesting, especially in somewhere like where we are, where it was a tent city in that downtown area. We talked about museums where you have all these artifacts and you don't know who's connected to what, right? So yeah, it's pretty neat to put two of them under. So
That's,
I'm gonna
I
try
like
it,
We'll,
that a
have an
lot.
we'll have to
FP11.
jot that down and try it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We will.
definitely.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
So Red, the videographer, we do film and we do make some of our own episodes.
Mhm.
So is that something you had done before you got into the group?
Yeah, it's actually kind of a really interesting, like funny story, I guess. I never thought this was going to be what I would do. Like, I never thought that videography would become so important to me in my life. But like most of my life, I would always, especially as a kid, I'd have a tablet. I'd film funny skits on it. There's some really embarrassing webcam YouTube videos of me as like a toddler, like out on YouTube of me singing like Evanescence, like just some like really like silly childhood things, just having a fun time. And I always have been that person that's very nostalgic. So I've always loved to capture pictures, like candids or filming, especially with my family, like those memories. I love keeping them. And then I slowly but surely got into more of like social media marketing. I helped rebrand a small business in town. And so I helped with their social media, and that turned into filming and taking pictures of their products and putting them out and learning how to put videos together and stuff like that. And then it truly just turned into, well, why don't I do my own vlogs? Why not? I'm having a fun time, So I started filming myself and with my friends, and then it turned out where just all these moments in my life kind of culminated to then finding this team and going, I can film this. I can get us like episodes. Give me a camera, give me your time, and I'll get this out there. So yeah, I mean, we're definitely trying to get our YouTube up right now. We have some investigations under our belt as our team that I'm currently editing and working on, which I'm so excited for everybody to see. So
That is a whole thing in and of itself. I didn't realize until we decided we want to do episodes just what it took.
It's a lot.
And then all the, we're using DaVinci, which is a hard program, and all the stuff you have to learn, and all the stuff that, Jason was using Adobe, and he's like, well, if I change, then I have, and he goes, oh, it's maybe a little easier. Oh, this is a little harder. But the time it takes to build a 45-minute episode took him about 40 hours. You're about a minute or hour a minute for editing and stuff. And I was like, holy cow. So I'm impressed, because that's a tough gig.
It's this weird kind of hobby, I guess, where it's really grueling, and I think for most normal people it's time consuming and it's annoying because you got to get in there, and it is so much of your time and effort. But at the end, when you see that finished product and people are just like losing their minds over it, you're like, this was all worth it. This was worth all the pain and watching that 10-second clip over and over and over again,
Right.
It's worth it.
Yeah, we actually did a premiere for our first episode because we had gone to Paraflix and we were on Paraflix for a little bit. So we did a local premiere at the community college, and we had like 100 people show up, and it was really cool. It's like, this is awesome. We did a little Q&A, and it was a fun time.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was great. Gina over in the comments is asking, since you are mediums, she's curious, when you're investigating, do you ever hear, sense, or pick up on the same thing at the same time without talking to each other first? And if so, how often does it happen? Doc?
Constantly.
Oh,
yeah. I'm sorry.
It does.
You're fine.
It does happen.
No, it does. But we're all mediums, but we are different mediums. We all have different gifts that we were given. So that's something that we will all share then together, because, Red picks up something, Brim picks up something different, I'll pick up something different, because I hear stuff more than what they do, but they sense more things than what I can. It's kind of hard to explain, but because of our gifts are different, we all don't share that. Even though we're all mediums, it's in a different way, so to speak.
Graham, you jumped right on that when you're like, yes. Is there something that you remember that just sticks out that, oh yeah, we all had this happen?
Um, let's see. It honestly happens so often. Um, you know, I can't think of an example off the bat, but I will say that the different clairs that we have, with Doc being clairaudient, I'm claircognizant and clairvoyant, and then even and then Red here also is clairvoyant, and we really mix those and kind of tune into those. So like I will get like a vision of something, and then so will Red, and then sure enough, Doc will come out of the corner and say, "Did everyone hear that?" And then that's usually when like one of our machines will go off and confirm, and it happens so often. It's just kind of funny that it seems like we're all kind of on the same wavelength together.
Right.
And so, yeah, so we just pick up different pieces of the puzzle. And then when we come back together and we're, oh my gosh, yeah, that makes sense. And, oh, did you hear that too? And, oh, you didn't hear when Grim said this, and then that sound in the back. So it just happens so often.
Well, and we seem to be very in tune with each other.
Yeah.
If that's a good way to put it. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know, we just all really click, and I think because we're in tune with each other, and we sense the same things but in a different way. So it just helps. It helps the overall experience of everything,
Right.
realistically.
I think Gina kind of sums it up right there for you. Like you complete a story in a sense. Each of you are
Right.
getting a piece of that story, and it kind of completes that.
That's exactly what it is.
I do have a really quick example from one of our investigations. I think it'd be kind of cool. I don't think Doc was here for either of these moments, unfortunately. This was a little bit before I think I fully met you. But I was with Grim, and we were actually down at the McPike Mansion in Alton, Illinois. And what was really, really cool is about a week prior, I was picking up on some stuff. Like I wasn't even there, and I was like, this something about a green room. I don't know what that means. And then I didn't tell her this because I really wanted to keep it on the down low, but I saw a woman in a window in a blue dress, and I didn't say nothing to her. I was like, I'm going to keep zoop. So we show up, and I'm walking with her, and she's doing a walkthrough. She's vibing. And all of a sudden, it's about 45 minutes. She's talking about other stuff, and she's like picking up on a woman. And I'm like, okay. And then later on, she's like, hey, by the way, I saw a woman in the top window in a blue dress. Just wanted to throw that out there. And I was like, oh, okay. We continue. She's picking up on what seems almost like this giant feast outdoors. She's picking up on a political figure. She's picking up on this family gathering of people, right? And then about 10 minutes later, because I kind of shut myself down while I'm filming with her, I try to shut down any psychic visions or whatever. I just don't want to get spoiled. And so we're walking, and I kind of forgot what she was talking about. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I see a woman in the top window in a white dress. It seems like a wedding, but it's not a wedding. And it's just some weird, we were kind of picking up on a wedding gathering, and then we picked up on some other things. But it took us 5 hours to piece all of our little things together to actually get a full story that we then verified with information. It's just really, really cool moments like that.
Yeah, that's great. It's all the different bits and pieces, and then you can put them together, right?
Yeah.
And then, I mean, we become historians, right? Because we're in these locations that have been here for 50 years, 100 years, 150, 200 years, and then if you can verify it, that makes it even that much better, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's what we like when we're actually verified with what we find out, and then when we get verification for that, it just, I don't know, it's just such an exciting thing.
High where you're like, oh, we got it,
Yes,
yeah.
that's kind of how we are.
Yeah, no, I think we all do when you get that verification,
Yes, it's very exciting to know I'm not, thinking of something, this is actually the truth, because 3 of us picked up on it, or 4 of us picked up on it. And it's just very, very satisfying, I think, for all of us to do
You
that.
feel like you're not that crazy person who's just in a dark building asking
That's right.
questions, right?
know,
That's
people
exactly
are like,
it.
what?
Yeah.
But we
You go,
all
you do
have our ways of
paranormal?
doing that.
You know,
It's
you do
definitely helped
paranormal
build
investigations?
confidence.
Right. Yeah.
I was gonna say it's helped build
It's funny.
confidence. Also, one of our team members, Baby Bat, she's the younger one, and she also has abilities as well. And so, when there's all of us picking up, such little pieces of a puzzle, I think it's a great example for us to have confidence in ourselves and what we're hearing, to never like kind of think that, oh no, I don't know why is that weird detail, why is that coming up? Just share it, tell the group, because you never know what someone else picked up or heard or caught. And for like our younger member, it's a great example for her to learn and build that, trusting herself and what she's hearing also, because it's very easy to think, oh my gosh, I must be crazy, this isn't real, but
No,
it
that's
is.
awesome that you all are able to and you all have different abilities and you're all able to
Mhm.
combine them and then help bring someone up that's starting out with those abilities.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
He's over here screaming at me.
Oh.
That's me.
yeah. We hope she's learning. I think she's learning from us. I mean, we're trying to, teach her, show her the ropes. And her dad's on the team with us, so that, that helps too. He,
Nice.
he's our,
He's our
I don't know
shield.
what we're gonna call him. Yes, he's our shield. He's our little
Their
protector.
shield,
So
yeah. He is.
Nice.
he watches over all of his girls.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, places you've investigated. Where are some of the places you've investigated? Doc, let's start, and maybe we can get each of you to tell about just a place.
Well, my favorite place is, of course, the Veterans Campus. We've just had so much experience there, and we actually feel like, I hate to say like we're starting to know some of the spirits, but we are actually starting to know some of the spirits, and they will always come through for us. We're like, hey, we're back. Do you remember us? Blah, blah, blah. Stuff like that. So that's always a cool thing to witness. And then we also pick up new ones. So that's one of my favorite places to go. As of right now, it's my favorite.
Okay. Graham?
Yes.
Let's see. One of my favorites was the Elmwood Cemetery, here in like Northern Illinois, and the reason I really liked it was I used to also live in that town. So as we are doing our own investigations, there's a few people that I also know that personally who are buried there, and it was really cool that. Well, I took a moment away to say hello, visit, and I know it's been a while, but I still care about you, and to get to I was using my EMF reader and to get different like acknowledgings back, and then to go back with the group, and the group. I remember Baby Bat and Red were also kind of picking up some things and just outside of the investigation, and that one in particular was interesting because I think a lot of people had investigated that cemetery before. And I don't know exactly who, but I'm not sure if they left the best impression, I think, with some of the spirits, because we got a lot of feedback we weren't expecting about, the ones before us. And so it really made us kind of realize, hey, moving forward, let's do things like leaving offerings, showing respect, and try to build up some trust again, because coming with respect is so important to us. And it's unfortunate if spirits don't feel like opening up because the people there weren't, considerate of them. And that was just a really big lesson in getting to see some friends, but also remembering, the spirits remember.
Yeah. I feel like cemeteries could be tough for that because you have, a team like you guys that go in with respect and knowing what you're doing, to where maybe you have some teens that are out on a night, right? And let's just go to the cemetery and we'll fool around and we'll do whatever. And so I can maybe see where the spirits would be like, oh, well, the ones before you were disrespectful or they were, yelling, screaming, and that's what. So yeah, Respect is a
Well,
huge factor.
and that's what we happen to be picking up from that particular cemetery. They just didn't seem to be very welcoming of us, that was the first time realistically that's ever happened to us. And we couldn't figure out why. Well, then it came across in one way or another that there were some teams that were there before us that did not respect them. And
Yeah.
so they don't know how we are. So
Right.
we tried to show them a lot of respect then. So, to say, well, not every team is like that.
Right.
So we showed them some respect. But it was a different experience to actually be somewhere where we did not feel welcome there.
Sure.
It
Red,
all
how
worked
about a
out.
place
Yeah.
that you've been?
We have some cool SLS footage too that will hopefully be showing when the episodes come around of just how much they didn't like us.
Oh.
Yeah, some very interesting stuff we got from that location. We were all like,
Yeah.
"What is this?"
Yeah, we didn't get it. We're like, what is going on here? Yeah.
I had a really hard time picking like a favorite place, I guess. There was a location that we investigated before we were a team. We were just kind of, I think we were kind of like flittering around. We had known about each other, but we were like, we wanted to investigate together, and it was before we fully came into MSIS like territory. So we actually investigated a bar in Brookfield, Illinois, and it was an old bar. It was, it was well known around the town. And it wasn't anything particularly negative. It's just one of the employees, she had been experiencing stuff and she just really wanted answers. And the owner, not a believer, but was trusting of her employee enough to allow us in to investigate. So we went in, we investigated, and what was really, really cool is we actually were able to pick up on, it was actually a lot of psychics walking around, because we really didn't like the equipment. The spirits were using it, but they didn't seem as keen to use it, which was very, very interesting. So we were walking around and we were really just like, it felt like we were throwing stuff at the wall, hoping it would stick. Like, we're like, does this make sense? We ended up actually 3 separate psychics. So it was me, it was Grim. I know that Doc was definitely picking up on stuff, and so was Baby Bat. We all somehow picked up that in the past of this bar, the next door building, they were one of the only, I think this bar was one of the only buildings that had running water. So this building, this bar, and the location next to them actually illegally built like an underground like piping system to get the water, to share the water. So they'd share the water and they were essentially like kind of helping each other out. And so we got some really weird stuff about water, and we were really like lost and confused. So like, what is this water thing? Then we also found out that when they were renovating this bar within the past, like, I don't know, 2-3 years, we don't know why, but there was a chamber or like a little alcove underneath the bar that didn't make sense, and it wasn't in any of the blueprints. And we were picking up on it because we were picking up on like, we were like, is there anything to do with like, I think it was, oh gosh, like the Great Depression.
The underground traveling of alcoholic drinks.
There you go. Thank you. It was that. We kept picking up on that. We're like, what does this have to do? Do you guys have any history? And they're like, no, but we did find this really weird thing under the bar that makes no sense. And we started getting confirmation on our devices of like underneath. Yes. And we're like, wow. Oh my gosh. And then I know that it made no sense. And then I know that I picked up on the last name of the grandson of the owner. He was supposed to take over the bar, but he ended up unfortunately dying in action in World War II. So when I walked in, I'm like, I'm picking up on it, and I forgot his name, but I said his name, and I was like, who's that? And we just had no clue. None of this information was publicly like known. This was all information that the bar owner had to confirm with us. And I even looked this bar up afterwards, and I couldn't find any of this information online. It was really, really cool. And she was pretty blown away at the stuff that we picked up, just having no knowledge. And she was like, that's very interesting. That place was so cool, and they were an amazing location to go to.
Yeah, that's true.
It sounds like a cool place. Yeah,
it was.
Bucket list locations.
Oh.
Doc, what's your bucket list location that you want to go to?
Definitely want to do the Joliet prison at some point.
That'd be
And
amazing.
yeah, we would really like to do that. That's supposed to be very, very active. Um, I don't know, there's some good cemeteries around here that are known to have a lot of action. Um, I don't know, there's just so many, it's hard to name, any in particular. I
Yeah.
mean, if we eventually travel out of state, which we would probably eventually do, there's a lot of some places in Colorado I would love to go to.
Yeah.
Down in
Like,
Florida, there's a lot of haunted areas down in Florida, or in Georgia, or I don't go to Civil War grounds, any of that stuff. I'm like obsessed with the Civil War, so I'm always game for that.
well, we are an
See what we
hour and a
can do.
half from Denver, and we've done
Oh,
some
okay.
locations down there, and Colorado locations are great. So,
Yes. I would love to do
Graham,
that.
Graham, your bucket list location that you would like to go to anywhere in the U.S.
If it isn't a mining town, I would really like to go to Zach's museum, Zach Baggins Haunted Museum. Um, I've been a fan of their crew and their shows and stuff for a long time, so it'd be cool to see what our crew could pick up off their haunted items.
We have done 2 of the tours at different times
Oh,
out at the
Ooh.
museum. The first one, we went into a serial killer room and they tell us about it. And then as we come out, she's like, just pull the door closed behind us. So I'm one of those people, like, I got to make sure everyone's out of a room and I'm kind of watching everyone. I'm like the last person. So I grab the door and I get it about 3/4 and it yanks out of my hand.
oh my gosh.
I clear my wife and the person in front of her. And I'm like, nope, nope. So the second time we went, I'm like, okay, they had something set up to where it does that. I bet.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Mhm.
they have to have something set up where it's like, okay, close the door and it pulls out of your hand.
Mhm.
So we go through again and I'm the last person out and close the door when you do it. Nope, door closed. So I was like,
Oh my.
okay, yeah.
That's awesome though.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then Peggy's room, you go in and he has Peggy, and it was super crazy. It felt like this net was just like coming down, and I could feel it like it was a sheer net because it was like over, and like I could feel the top of my ears. And then she
Oh
said
my
my name,
gosh.
and I'm like, I'm out. I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Super cool place.
insane.
And that's been some years since the second time we've been, and even more cool stuff now, that's there. So
Mhm.
yeah.
So
Red, what's your bucket list location?
right now, my mind, all I can think about is the Indiana State Sanatorium. I don't know why. I just want to go to that place so badly. I just need to go there. I don't know why. That's it. That's it for me right now. I have to go there, and then I'll pick another location that I just really want to go to. Right now, Indiana State Sanatorium. Don't know why. It's obsessing in my brain.
Someone in the comments says the Queen Mary.
Ooh, I am the biggest
Oh.
fan ever. We need to go.
Yes.
We have to
We're
go.
game for anything pretty much at this point.
Oh my
I
gosh.
think after
Oh my
watching
God.
the Project Fear episode, the Queen Mary is definitely on the
So
list
good.
for us too.
On the bucket list.
Yeah.
Yep. That's awesome.
We're all
Yeah.
Titanic fans here, so I think we need to get on
Yes, we are.
an ocean liner. So we got to go.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I just watched. Oh gosh, it's on Netflix. It's about a cruise ship that sinks right off the coast of. It's like right on the coast, like the.
Of Italy?
Yes.
Oh, that was the one. I think it was. It wasn't it like 2012. It was something. No, not 2012.
Yeah.
It was like the
Mhm.
100th anniversary or something of the Titanic sinking, and that boat sank off the coast of
Oh.
Italy.
I didn't catch that part, but
They
yeah,
don't
was
mention it a
crazy.
lot, but it was. I remember when it sank because I was like, "That's kind of weird."
We do some cruises, and now I'm like,
Mhm.
I don't know.
I don't know if I want to do that anymore.
Yeah, you're like,
All right. So, what is in the future for you guys for MSIS? What is in the future? Doc, let's start with you. And each of you need to have something because I'm coming to you. So, Doc, what is in the future? What do
Why
you
am
think
I
is
always
in the future
first?
for MSIS?
We
Well,
just
I'll go.
okay. You
If
can
you
go,
can't think
Glenn.
of anything. I was gonna
Okay.
say We do have a really fun paranormal night coming up with the Veterans Chicagoland Veterans Campus. That's going to be a fundraiser with, I think there might be a few other groups there, but it's going to be a really cool fundraiser to help support the campus. I'm pretty sure that some of the proceeds will be going to I think the different like veterans type charities and things like that, and yeah, we'll get to have a couple investigations with different groups, do a little interviewing, get to know some of the other local groups also. So it'll be a fun networking and also a fun opportunity to show our support.
Nice.
And I am looking forward to doing our YouTube. We just want to be able to connect with fans, because we've even had people reach out to us if we happen to be, I know Grim has and I have, just out in a store or something, and people are like, oh my gosh, we follow you on Facebook. And we just we just like connecting with our fans and hear what they have to say, and what do you like, what do you don't, what do you don't like. And I guess just to expand, just for us to expand out and explore and just bring answers to people, because a lot of people have questions and they're just like amazed by what we do, and we're amazed. It's always a learning experience every time we go out.
Right.
We learn something new.
That happened last week. I'm at work and this husband and wife come in, and the wife keeps looking at me. She goes, you look familiar. And I was like, oh no, I'm here. I'm at home. Like, I don't do a whole lot.
My God.
Yeah.
She's like, wait, is your wife Gina? You guys do the ghost stuff. I was like,
Yeah.
Yes, that's us.
That's so
It's
cool.
fun.
Yeah.
It's fun to be recognized.
Yeah. Red,
That's happened.
what's in the future for MSIS?
Two things. Definitely want to mention the YouTube. That's going to be coming up shortly. But also with the YouTube, we not only want to really showcase our investigations, but we're looking to showcase a podcast with our team. We just really want to have some really cool moments for people to watch us. So we were kind of thinking of maybe a podcast where we kind of go over evidence that we get each investigation and just talk about our personal experiences there that you really don't get on the camera when you're at the location filming. Sometimes you miss those really cool moments or, what you're thinking. So we want to showcase that. We also actually in October, we're going to be going to the Trolley Museum in Elgin, Illinois for one night only. And it's a really cool, fun, like family event in October. There's going to be campfires, s'mores, psychic readers, just kind of everything fun and related to Halloween. We get the really cool opportunity to take guests on a paranormal investigation up the hill off the trolley. There's actually two gravestones from the Native American War. So I guess it's a really big hot spot down in Elgin, Illinois, and this Trolley Museum has done it many years. They've done this event. We're just really, really excited and lucky to be able to get out there, network, and really just showcase some cool moments to the local town and get to know people and hopefully get our name out there. So we got some cool stuff going. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Where can people find you?
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Facebook. That's where I found you, was Facebook. Actually,
yes,
I did your TikTok first. And then I went over to Facebook.
Oh, okay. That's awesome. Yeah.
And we're on Instagram,
TikTok.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Do we have our... Yeah, I was going to say, we have, I think the name is pretty much consistent across the board. It's Midwest Spirit Investigator Society, or MSIS. Sometimes it's even Midwest Spirits Investigators. If you look us up, as long as you see the compass logo, it's a white compass with a black background. That is our account. We have no other accounts.
That's us. Nope.
Yeah.
That's us.
Nice.
Yeah.
Talking about bucket list places, and someone over here in the chat was like, a cemetery in Alaska.
Yes.
That's going to be that gold rush era stuff, which is like super cool,
I investigated at a cemetery in Alaska.
Oh, tell us.
Gold rush. It was amazing. And so I was with one of the other members on the team, and I don't like Red was saying earlier, we don't like to know anything ahead of time because I don't want it to cloud my judgment or make me think one way or another. So I went to a few of the headstones, and if I touch them, usually I will pick up something from them. And so I was telling Misty, the other member on our team, about it, and she actually went out of the cemetery, and they had signs that said what I was telling her. So it validated everything I said with maybe 5 different tombstones, 5 different
Wow.
areas. So that was like, we always like to be validated. So that
Mhm.
just made my day. But that's very active up in Alaska. Very, very active. It was
Wow.
great.
That's
I think
cool.
the team needs to make a little trip there.
Good. That'd be fun.
We just got
Yes.
back from a Alaska cruise.
Oh,
Oh
how
yes,
was it?
that's awesome.
It was good. I don't like to be cold and wet. It was rainy most of the time, but it was still good. We did. We went to Ketchikan, so we walked around Ketchikan and just took in the town. Creek Street is their old red light district,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
so we
Yeah.
walked Creek Street and we came off and we turned left, and there's a parking lot and there's a bear just eating
Nice.
trash. Yeah, that
Eating
was pretty
trash.
cool. It was pretty cool.
Mhm.
And then we went to Sitka after that, and we did like a 2 hour. We got off a boat to get on a boat, and we went out and did whale watching.
Yes.
Oh, that's amazing.
Tons of humpback whales out there,
Mhm.
making noise, and none of them completely breached. So they're like coming up and going
Okay.
up and doing that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But all the captains, because there was so many boats out there, all the captains were amazed that day. They're like, it's calm. One of them was like, it's like we're on a lake and we're in the ocean.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Beautiful.
Wow.
the krill wall was about 450 feet down, but like
Mhm.
50 feet tall krill. And that he goes, that's why there's so many, because the krill is so thick right now. And they're just down there
Oh,
scooping
nice.
it up. And I was like,
Wow.
that's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
What a sight.
I try and go to
So,
Alaska about every other year,
oh yeah,
actually. Yes.
well,
And
the stepson
I've
just
already
got
been up.
stationed up there. So Gina
Oh,
is going up
really?
there quite a bit, and then she has a friend that lives in Anchorage. So
Yes, I have a
you guys
cousin
get up
that lives
there.
there.
Yeah.
My cousin lives in Anchorage. So, but yes, if you can do any paranormal investigating up there, you need to do it because it's great. It's very
You know, her
active.
friend was in Juneau, and they were at the Red Dog Saloon.
Yes.
And I think just looking at that building, like I'm like, oh yeah, that's definitely got
Right?
some stuff going on.
I know.
So
I feel like that way with everything up there almost because it's also old and back from the gold rush days, and who knows what happened,
right. We
in the
stopped
buildings.
in Prince Rupert, British Columbia, and we were supposed to do a kind of like a ghost tour. It was the excursion, but it got canceled. There wasn't enough interest. Like,
Oh,
that's a bummer. But
that is a bummer.
we came back and spent some time in Seattle, and we did a ghost tour in Seattle, which was
Nice.
really cool. And that place is super cool. And yeah, it was good. It was a good trip. It really was.
Yeah.
But
That sounds so
I try to
nice.
let on like it wasn't. Maybe so many people don't go or something.
Yeah. Keep the hype low so people,
Yeah.
you can get
Yeah,
tickets
nobody
next
else.
year.
It's
Yeah.
cold, I'd wear my winter
Right.
jacket,
You
and
don't
like you
go
said, it was
humpback.
rainy.
You know, it was only humpbacks.
Yeah.
I did see a orca dorsal fin as we were going out of Seattle.
Nice.
But not any orcas, like they weren't up or nothing. And I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
So
Seeing the whales alone is just a cool thing.
it's pretty cool. Yeah. I had never thought about like investigating Alaska. So I bet that is pretty cool.
I never thought about it either, but now this last time I was there and we were going to the cemetery, and I'm like, well, I have to do what I do, so, and it ended up just being a fantastic experience. So I will definitely like to do that some more.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, I thank you all for coming on the show. It's been great talking to you. You sound like you have a pretty cool group, and I kind of have a map of all the places that, all the different people that I've talked to over the last couple of years. I'm marking guys on that map because if we get out that
Thank
way,
you.
we're going to hit you up and try doing an investigation.
Yes, we would love that.
Together. That'd be fun.
Thanks.
That'd be
I'm gonna
amazing.
put you into the green room, close out the show, and I'll come chat with you.
Awesome.
Okay, great. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Oh, another great team on the show tonight. And it wasn't even the whole team. I could just imagine all of them if they were together. And yeah, like I said, I have that map, the first month of the show, month and a half, it seemed like it was a Tennessee show. We had so many teams from Tennessee on, like I could spend a few weeks down there. Just have to mark all these teams and make a big circle across the US. I need to retire now so I can do that. So, thanks for watching Unraveling the Darkness tonight, and I will see you next week.
Unraveling the Darkness would like to thank Horn Paranormal Research for sponsoring our show. If you're craving more paranormal content, don't forget to check out our YouTube and Facebook channels at Way Out West Paranormal and Unraveling the Darkness. You can catch all of our episodes of Unraveling the Darkness on Apple Podcasts, Facebook, and YouTube. Be sure to like and subscribe as it helps others find the show and join in on the paranormal fun. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, keep your lights on, stay safe, and remember, the truth is out there, and it might just be closer than you think.